What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Obviously, tomorrow, the big headline, Juventus versus Real Madrid. Are they going to go head-to-head? Are they going to play? Or are they going to come down with a serious case of IBS, as did Barcelona? We have all that, but more importantly, we got to get to some of the Mercado moves. What is happening? Are you getting the player that you maybe don't like? As well as, are we shipping out somebody that I really would rather not see leave? Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today it is August 1st, 2023. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you crowd each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you feel so inclined, you can pop over down here. We have the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast channel, fun channel that I'm doing on the side, me and a couple friends. If you could, I'd appreciate the support. If you pop it over, I think right over here in the top hand corner right now, we'll be putting a link up there. So you can go ahead, that subscribe button. If you do subscribe to the channel, you'll be entered in to win a free t-shirt. And of course, once we hit 500 subscribers, we will be giving away a jersey of your choosing. So if you want to win either of those, feel free to do that. It's the highest chance of winning because every 100 subscribers, we're giving away a t-shirt right now. Our next goal is 200. It's a small channel. We're having some fun. Appreciate the support. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk the news. Let's talk about what is going on when it comes to Juve. Obviously, the very first news of the day we're going to talk about is Zakaria and his future in the Mercado. CalcioMercado.com is reporting that these are the days of Zakaria's move, and Juventus is trying to reopen negotiations with West Ham. Monaco is also interested in the Swiss player, while the possibilities with Lille and Leipzig are still holding on. So right now, at this point, we're just waiting. We're just playing the waiting game until somebody comes to bat and somebody comes to the table and says, let's finalize this deal. Let's get it done. For the longest time, it feels like it's been West Ham, and we're just waiting for West Ham to go ahead and, make the agreement, if you will. But again, right now, the one thing we do know, and the only reason I'm even touching on this for too long, is just to say, whenever it happens, it's going to happen. But Zakaria is not going to be a part of the club moving into the future. Let's go ahead and move on and talk about one guy who you may have different feelings about when it comes to his future with Juventus. Calcio Mercado is also reporting that after bringing Gonzalez to Juventus, agent Guasta de Ciegno, and I probably butchered that. Let me try that again. Guasta de Ciegno? I don't know. I'm sure I butchered it. I don't even know why I attempted to say the name, but I'm going to try it. If I'm going to get little, you know who you are. If you're going to come out in the comment section and attack me for how to pronounce the names, it's on you, bro. Anyway, let's go ahead and say, his agent can now focus on moving on another one of his clients, and that, of course, is talking about Mattia Soule, for whom no club has come close to Juve's request of 20 million euros so far. I don't want to be this guy, but I kind of do want to be a little bit. I'm praying and hoping that no club does come close to that 20 million euros. I would like to see Soule get retained. Has he not really lived up to what I would hope for at Juventus? No, he hasn't. But at the same time, a lot of this has to do with the guy in charge, the guy at the top, Max Allegri. I don't have a lot of faith that he's going to be able to use Mattia Soule in the way that I think that he needs to be utilized to prosper and to be a successful footballer for the club moving forward. And I also just kind of hope that if this is a temporary situation with Max Allegri and he eventually does move on from the club, I really hope that this doesn't hamper losing, and end up losing out on really good, talented players for the future because of selfishness with Max Allegri, and of course, all that goes along with that. That's it. That's my soapbox when it comes to Soule. Let's move on and talk about another player that I kind of feel the same damn way about. And that is, of course, Tuttosport is reporting on the situation with that of Iling-Junior. Allegri intends to transform Iling-Junior into a mezzala, aiming to have a ready-made replacement for Pogba. However, he could still leave if the right offer arrives, with Juventus considering offers starting from 25 million euros. Again, there are a lot of flashes I saw from Iling-Junior. He has a lot of talent. He has a lot of capability, and he's a young player. And I think he has a long way to go and a higher ceiling than some of the guys out there. I would love to see Iling-Junior be retained and get a really good shot at playing. if it is in a Mazzala role, one thing you can say is he'll probably get a lot of opportunity, because one thing, I'm not trying to go and crush Pogba again, but we do know that Paul Pogba will probably not be healthy for majority of the season. We saw it last season, and we've seen his injury issues, and now he's becoming, I don't want to say, it's not a cancer. That's not the word I want to use. He's becoming a liability. He's a liability overall when it comes to usefulness, and also he's just a big payday for not much output, almost nil output right now. So again, I would like to see Iling-Junior stay, but again, if somebody comes to the table with around 25 million euros, you could definitely see the possibility of Iling-Junior leaving the club. We continue on and we talk about really the sense of what's going on with the club and the guy in charge. And it's really that Max Allegri, he is the guy in charge. La Stampa reporting that Allegri has asked Giuntoli for more experienced players. He will try to accommodate Allegri's request, a new way of working. At Juventus, however, he will have to adapt to a different strategy, being aware of the coach's significant influence within the club, which is, again, something that I think a lot of us are very worrisome about. I've seen it all over social media about the frustrations with Max Allegri, the disbelief in Max Allegri that he will be able to be successful at Juventus and lead them to anything outside of, even to a top four this season. I look at it and I'm terrified. I'm honestly terrified of the season, given the players that we currently have. Overall, I feel like the squad's kind of worse than it was last season. We'll see if they end up turning the heat up in the Mercado to really try to bolster it before it ends. But at the same time, I am worried. I do worry about the season. So it'll be interesting to see that dynamic and how that relationship will work with Giuntoli, and if he and Allegri can work together to try to make this thing work out in the end. But some of those news, when it comes to players that he wants that are more experienced that he could go after, a guy who was young and a guy who could be an interesting one that he could go after, that we talked a little bit about yesterday. I believe Ale talked about it, is that of Donnarumma. Corriere della Sera is reporting, if it were me doing the video yesterday, I would have been hyped. I would have been jumping up and down. I probably would have been shirtless. That's how excited I'd probably be over the rumors about Donnarumma coming to Juventus. I spared you guys, obviously. But the latest reports are that the strong connection between Gianluigi, Donnarumma, and PSG have never fully blossomed. The 1999-born goalkeeper could make a return to Italy, as Juventus is reportedly exploring the situation. It remains to be seen where Wojciech Szczesny would end up, as he would have to make way for Donnarumma, since neither the Polish nor the Italian would accept a backup role. And that's the key right now. Obviously, anytime these rumors pop up, I'm not going to get hyped up anymore. I'm not going to get excited, because more than likely they're not going to come to fruition. But one thing we do need to keep an eye on is with reports recently in it's been the last month or so, we've had reports out there that when it comes to Wojciech Szczesny, he could make a move in the sometime during the summer. He's only one of 7 when it comes to Bayern Munich potentially going after a goalkeeper. So I don't have high hopes that it could be be there, but it's still a possibility, as well as some other places that may look around for him, and Juventus may try to ship him out. If they do that, I think right now would be a fantastic opportunity to go ahead and get Donnarumma in to Juventus. You have your goalkeeper of the future. I'm feeling a little bit better about the prospects for the long term, because to me, I kind of feel like when you have your goalkeeper, when you have the guy, as maybe it's just a feeling that Gigi Buffon gave me because of how successful he was and how much of a leader he was for the club, that I feel good about the club moving forward. And I think one key piece you could start with is bringing in a guy like Donnarumma, and then you kind of feel good moving into the future, as well as obviously there's plenty of issues, plenty of other key pieces that need to be fixed from there. But I kind of feel like you can move forward from there, having a very, very good goalkeeper. Again, probably not going to happen. I'm not getting my hopes up, but we're throwing that out there. And then finally, the main topic of the day, the main Mercado move that Juventus seems to be making in this Mercado, is the situation as it unfolds with our main striker and potentially swapping him out with the guy from Chelsea who also played obviously for Inter. And that is, of course, is Lukaku. Romelu Guidetti has his update when it comes to the situation. He says that Juventus is evaluating the Lukaku deal, for which Chelsea is asking for 45 million euros for him. As for Vlahovic, he is valued at 80 million euros by Juve, with a remaining balance of 56 million euros, a figure aimed to avoid losses on the transfer. Which is interesting, because if Chelsea are asking 45 for Lukaku, that math is it's not correct. that math does not add up. Anyway, let's continue on though from the statement. Finding common ground on the valuations won't be easy, and at this point, it cannot be guaranteed that this deal will materialize. The only certain thing is that contacts have been made between the old lady and the Blues, including in the previous day. Let's see what unfolds in the coming hours. Obviously, a couple days ago, you had Lukaku in his comments to fans basically saying, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen about Juventus. Never say never. I don't know. I feel like so many of us are not wanting this to happen that it kind of almost feels like it definitely will find a way to get done because of our frustrations and because of how we really don't want to see Lukaku at Juve. I'm sorry. I really do not want to see it happen. I still am against it. I can kind of understand, though, given his success that he has had in the league, he is going to get you goals that are probably going to win games that I could not buy into it. Like, I'm never getting a Lukaku shirt. Never going to happen. Sorry, not going to do it. But I could, if he's a key piece that could work. I just worry about his age. I worry about the future of the position moving forward because, yes, you're making money off of Vlahovic, but at the same time, getting him, and then where do we go from here? Here you go a couple of years from now, and you got to find somebody else who's going to replace that role, which is, again, is a continuing issue when it comes to the club. I think for right now, we'll keep an eye on those numbers, those figures, what's going to happen between the two clubs, if anything does happen at all. For all we know, we could get here in a few weeks from now. We are looking once again at Vlahovic being the guy, and this is just a stupid story that we had to talk about and that dragged on for way too long. But given Romeo Gresti's conversations, given the momentum behind it, I would bet my money that it's more likely to happen than not. So we'll see. But that's something to keep an eye on. We'll keep you updated every step of the way. That's it for right now. That's all I got for you today. If you want and you feel so inclined to ask you, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button on this channel and my side channel. Link in the description down below. As well as I do ask you to let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about today. Also, tomorrow, I'm praying, I'm hoping. I'm not going to get my hopes up because sometimes he's got baby issues. Iling-Junior, myself, and Alejandro Fancello should be back together once again for the watch along, having some fun, talking some crap, hopefully enjoying Juventus versus Real Madrid. Hopefully they give us a little bit something more to talk about than obviously AC Milan did when they played that game. It was a kind of a snooze fest, if I'm being real. So anyway, hopefully you guys will tune in and join us for that watch along tomorrow. I believe that is 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I believe Juve time that is like 1:30 in the morning, something like that. So hopefully you guys will tune in and check it out with us. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.